have two LMLs in the shop right now on both lifts. One here on my left side is getting had a valve body wiring harness leak, and the truck here on the right is getting a long block. So kind of go over some of that, explain to you guys what all's going on with this truck. It's a little bit more interesting than the truck that was just getting a maintenance item. So there you guys can see the truck here. Like I said, had a valve body wiring harness leak. It's pretty common. It was leaking around this plug, so we got that replaced and to drop the valve body down, get that guy switched out, so that's good. Got the engine harness off of this truck here because it's getting the engine that we're putting in it has an alternate firing cam, so we've got to go through and repin these two connectors to change when the injectors fire. So I'm going to do that here shortly, but let's kind of walk through this truck real quick and give you guys an idea of what it is. So it's a 2015 Silverado High Country. Drivetrain wise, it's got a built transmission. I believe Justin Flatford built that transmission. It's a flat out diesel transmission. And over here we have the old engine out of the truck. It's 200. I want to say this is like I think it's 200,000 miles on the truck. And he had kind of like a runaway scenario. The truck ran away and then it had a bunch of bearing noise afterwards. So he opted out for it. It locked up completely. He went ahead and got a new long block on the way. This has been kind of a work in progress for him, from what I understand, gathering all of these parts. So it's an LML long block with LB7 pistons, all new bearings, oil pump, all that good stuff, jazzed. The head's been reconditioned, obviously. It has a Callie's crankshaft, has ARP main studs. It was line honed for the main studs. Has a Callie's alternate firing stage 1 cam. ATI balancer, as you guys can see. Has Manton push rods, Manton valve springs, retainers. Looks like they installed brand new front and rear covers. New lower oil pan, new GM oil sensor, SoCal billet main caps. The engine is actually bored 20 over. It looks like this was an upgrade option. Bored 20 over with thermal coated tops. Realistically, that's a lot of money and a lot of supporting modifications, but the question is what kind of power adders. Obviously this is really expensive, but this is just stuff to make it hold power. None of that is going to make it any faster. Like, you can put that built motor in that truck, and if it had stock injectors and stock fuel, it's just going to drive like a regular truck. So that is the most expensive part of building like a diesel pickup truck to hold horsepower, is making it hold it. So in the Valley has a 12 mil CP3, and then it has Dan's diesel 100 over injectors, and we actually have the turbo in the box that just came back from Dan's. We just got it refreshed because the customer, we don't really know what happened, but one of the compressor wheel got damaged the last time he had the truck running. I've upgraded parts on this engine. This thing should be pretty stout when it's done. Can't wait to get it in and get it running.
I have nowhere else to go. The darkness is pulling at my soul, and now I'm here on my knees, praying and looking for the missing piece. Please bring I've never been inside these walls, but here I am, please hear my call. I'm talking to this glass window. If you can hear me, I don't know. Please shine your light and lead me home. Maybe there's no chance for me, but if you can truly see, take my hand and show me something. I feel your presence here in the air. I call your name, I know you're there. Please wake me from this lonesome nightmare. And don't turn your face from me. I'm broken down, I know you see. My life is failing, so it's you I need. I'm begging you to just save me from the pain.
All right, guys, this is now the next week. It's Monday morning, and we got the cab set down on the truck. Last Friday we got the cab set down on the truck, and right now Bailey's buttoning up the cab, getting everything hooked up. We had some aftermarket stuff put on, some transcooler lines that we're trying to route, get all that done. But this morning I went to town and gathered all the fittings to use our pre-lube engine oiler. So the manufacturer of the engine actually wants us to pre-lube the engine before we start it to make sure it has a warranty. So I had to get this piece here made. We're gonna go through the turbo oil feed inlet to lube the mains and rods and all that stuff. So basically what we got to do is put 75 pounds of air to that little fitting, crack that valve, hook it up to the engine, and it should pump all this into the motor. So that is one of the required steps. Just wanted to document that for warranty purposes. So we'll get that done. This is the fitting I had to get made right here. It just comes with some pipe thread adapters, some kind of just generic fittings, but luckily this has a remote oil feed set up, so I was able to just tie into that to get this thing lubed up. So once we get all this wrapped up is programming injector strategies and basically make sure everything's good, go over everything, and like I said, we'll pre-lube the engine and crank it up and see how she runs. So we're not gonna be able to drive the truck a lot. It needs to basically go right into a break-in period. They want you to hook it to a trailer and pull a trailer with it. I believe the customer's gonna actually just drive the core engine back to Tennessee. So that's gonna kind of be his break-in. He's gonna have some weight in the bed and drive down to Tennessee to help break the motor in. So that's where we're at, guys. Just wanted to bring you up to speed, and we'll catch back up with you guys when we're firing this thing up. All right, guys, truck is pretty much put back together. I'm trying to find, it's not holding all the vacuum that it should in the cooling system. It's got a real small leak. So we're gonna try and find that. We got the batteries on the charger, and we're priming the engine. So I put 75 pounds in the priming device, and then like I said, we're hooked into the turbo oil feed line, and she's slowly going down. So it is pumping oil in there. We're gonna give this thing some time, see if it'll pump all the pressure out of that. I guess I could have put it on a scale to tell me. It sounds like it's getting there. We're pumping some oil. So alrighty, guys, we've got our engine pre-lubed. Yes, I did get a haircut, pretty obvious. We got some Valvoline Premium 1540 in the engine, and a bottle of this Zinc Plus. So the manufacturer once again wants us to run a conventional oil throughout the break-in procedure of this engine to basically help seat the rings. So it's not going to have a lot of the lubricating properties as a synthetic oil, but it's just going to help seat those rings. That's what they say to do. It's their engine. That's what we're going to do. So we got it topped off with oil. Oil level's good. Don't think we have a coolant leak. System holds pressure fine. Don't really know what's going on with the vacuum gauge there. And the lift pump is running now, just priming the fuel system. So we are about to do a first crank on this thing, see if it runs. We got the injector. We got the injector strategy codes programmed for alternate fire and cam. And in case you guys are just stopping by and you're not familiar with the diesel, just because this thing has a cam in it and all that doesn't mean it's going to sound anything different. It'll just sound like a normal LML Duramax. You're not going to be able to tell. So we'll get you guys set up on the tripod here, and we'll do some cranking and get a first start up of this new LML engine. so there you guys can hear the truck did start. However, I immediately shut it off. We're gonna back the truck out to where it is. The exhaust is facing outside the door because we have to do, I believe it's a 20-minute braking cycle for the new camshaft and bearings and stuff. So we got to hold the engine at a steady 2,000 RPM, and we don't want to do that in here and make a bunch of smoke in the shop. So that is what we're doing now. It does sound healthy so far. I don't see any massive puddles on the ground. So yeah, we'll just work through this. What? No rods hanging out? Oh man. Oh, that happened, but we got our 5-minute cycle done. So we're gonna pull it in. We're checking for leaks right now. And we're gonna get the front bumper stuck back on this thing, triple check all the fluids a couple times, and be time to go on a road drive. So far so good. Holds oil pressure good. Coolant temp was coming up good. Sounds like a runner. All right guys, it is now the next day. We got the LML with the built engine wrapped up and sent home. Me and Bailey, well mostly Bailey, spent a lot of time cleaning up the shop today, and for the last couple hours, instead of pulling anything else in, we went ahead and decided to work on the Squarebody this afternoon. So, with that being said, what we're trying to do is get so the cab has no body mounts, right? So we have these jacks, and we're trying to basically get this thing to where it's level with the frame, with the cab, where the wheels line up in the wheel wells. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about here. See, we've got a little bit of manipulating there to do. That wheel's not perfectly centered, it needs to go forward some. The front's looking pretty dang good, but with that being said, the front being somewhat decent, we have a kind of an excessive bed gap It probably doesn't look very bad on camera, but this gap here is pretty noticeable in person. And when the truck actually matches, like it's all painted one color, it's gonna be pretty noticeable. You guys can see here, we have our frame rail right here. So it's very, very much visible. But that's just kind of how it is on the classic style Duramax trucks. If I go outside and show you guys my LBZ Duramax, you're gonna be able to see that frame underneath the doors. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with how the frame is designed. So Bailey's been going around with tape measure. We're just checking and going over everything. We're trying to look at things like how much room do we have clearance wise up front for a fan, radiator, intercooler, all that. How much room do we have in the back on our firewall? And firewall looks pretty wide open. Is the hood gonna shut with factory parts on? More than likely, yeah. I mean, we can work with that. So kind of just trying to get the overall outline of how this thing's gonna look. And I'm not gonna lie, it's looking pretty good, don't you think? I mean, it sits pretty good on the frame. It's better than I expected, I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely didn't think that it was going to, you know, all this stuff's really easy to talk about on paper, but we're pretty close to where if we could triple check everything real quick, measurements, like I'd say, all right, let's start making mounts. But like I said, just going over everything really good. We got these nice jacks. So instead of tying up one of our lifts to lift this cab up, not to mention it's super difficult to lift a regular cab with our 2-post lifts, but we have these jacks and we can just kind of work on this thing when we have time. And like I said, we kind of have a little bit of an opening today. So yeah, we're gonna, let's see, it's 4 o'clock now. We're gonna try and get this thing to where we're like, okay, we're good. And then we'll come up with some type of plan to make mounts. Good buddy Mason here in the computer room here. May. Hi. Yeah, he's definitely here on his own will. But he's got a super nice plasma table, so he can cut us out some mounts. We can weld them up real good and get them stuck on our Squarebody Duramax truck.
So it's you I need. I'm begging you to just